Hello, this is HC Bailey, and welcome back to Let's Play Final Fantasy Legend 2! Today, we get our sentences interrupted by random battles. You like how I changed that intro up? Huh? Just a little bit faster there, because it's such a long title for a game, you know? Anyway, we got a new enemy here, Fungus, or Fungi. We have fungus among us. They're not weak to anything in particular, and there's nothing really special about them, but I figure the battle's fast enough, why not show them off? Yeah, the enemies in this game, at least early on, are pretty underwhelming. But they'll soon be back, and in greater numbers. Yeah, 5 enemies in a battle, that's nothing. We can get into battles of 15 enemies at a time. Oh yeah. Let's see what's in here. Oh, we got some oh, no treasure. Sorry, viewers. We'll have to wait for that till later. Let's head over here then. Oh, and here we got a new enemy, flies. Now, we've got 6 of them, so really having my robot kill one of them isn't really going to make a huge difference, so I might as well have him defend and save on some HP or something. They are weak to ice, so that's the way to go. Now when you start running into these large groups of enemies, if you haven't grinded, or you don't have a tank in the front position, it's quite possible someone will die. But don't worry if only like 1 or 2 characters die, because you'll automatically be revived after the battle with 1 HP, so you won't have to see Odin or anything like that, but that's pretty useful. You don't need life potions or Phoenix Downs or whatever. I don't think you can gain stats, though, if you're dead. That'd be kind of hard to do. I wish I could gain stats when I was dead. More empty chests. I wonder if that was where the Magi was. Or the Magi that we were supposedly told about. Silly Tomb Raiders. Let's see what's in here. Hey, it's not empty for a change. We get some more cure potions. Alright. We'll be getting some better treasure soon enough, viewers, don't worry. That's one thing I like about this game, is that it actually has useful treasure, whereas, like a lot of RPGs back in the day, they would just give you some randomly low amount of money, or a useless piece of equipment, you know? Or a cursed belt! Well, fortunately, this game doesn't have any cursed equipment. Do they still do that to you in modern Dragon Quest games? I don't know, I haven't played anything beyond Dragon Warrior 3. Oh, these guys are taking the Magi. We gotta stop them. Maybe they're trying to become gods. Where'd you go? Well, before going after those guys, though, let's check out this room. Hey, this one actually has some Magi. Alright. So let's put those to use. Now, here's how Magi works. Essentially, there's elemental Magi, and then there's stat-based Magi, and then there's some unique ones like Prism. For example, Power Magi, let's give that to Tink there. Essentially what it does is it increases your strength by 5, and then for each Power Magi you get after that, it increases it by 1 more. So basically the first one is the one that's really good. The Speed Magi, I don't know if it's bugged, or if it's, in a good way, or if it's the way it's supposed to be, but it increases your agility by 10, plus 2 for every additional Magi. So that's really good for someone like Lore, for example, so he can deal a lot of damage with any of his agility-based weapons. Now, the stat gains, by the way, those only happen in battle. It doesn't happen on screen, so you won't be able to look in your stat menu and see the difference. So, and then we have a Mana Magi. Increases your mana stat by 5, and 1 for each additional Mana Magi that you get, and then that only works in battle, and it only works with, it works with all your spells, doesn't it? The Mana Magi does. I was thinking of some other one later on in the game. I'll be going over the other Magi later on, and how they're bugged and stuff like that. Sorry, Indy, you got screwed on the Magi. Whoa, I need some healing. Yeah, let's, take care of that so they don't die. There we go. Now let's kill those guys and get their Magi. Die! Oh, hey, have you seen my dad? Oh, guess not. What do they care about us for anyway? Oh, they were guardians sent to foil Ashura's plan. But they took the Magi. Oh well. You gotta find them. Maybe they went to Ashura's base in the north. Maybe that's where they came from. Okay, well, I think that's everything I can do there. So now what I want to do is, before going after those guys, I want to return to the second town, because now I have money. And I can buy a psychic knife, which I want to give to Indy so he can start working on developing his mana stat. And I'll be going over why and how in just a moment. And then let's return to the Shrine of Isis and update Key on what's going on. We got some of the Magi back, but not all of it. Maybe she has some more information for us. So I'll meet you over there then. Alright, we've made it back to the Shrine of Isis, so let's update Isis on, or Key, on the situation. Yeah, she wishes she was Isis. Yeah, that's a problem. We gotta kind of go after them. Alright, we got another new party member, Key. Let's take a look at what she's got. Not too much on the HP. Not nearly as powerful as Mr. S. But she does come with, well, standard armor at this point. We also got Thunder Books, Cure Books, so those are pretty nice. And not so good with the hammer, but oh well. You can't equip your 5th party member with Magi, by the way, so don't even bother. But Thunder will take out any group of monsters in one shot, so that's pretty nice. It's too bad I can't unequip it, because 5th party members, you can't remove their stuff, so you can't remove it and then sell it for a lot of money. That'd be pretty nice at this point in the game, but no, that's not happening. Now, also since last time, or since since I took a break there for a moment, I purchased psychic knives for Indy, and I also equipped him with the mana Magi so he can actually deal a reasonable amount of damage with it. He could kill most enemies in one hit with it at this point. The reason why I want him to work on mana, or start developing mana, use mana-based attacks and stuff like that, is because that's really the stat that I care about, mana. What it does is it increases your damage with magic attacks, and it also increases your magic defense and resistance to status inflicting spells, from what I've heard. So, I mean, I don't know if it's absolutely true, but that's basically how it works. So yeah, I really like mana. Also, you get access to mana-based group attacks relatively early in the game compared to agility and strength. They can only hit one enemy at a time, which in this particular game is not so great. I mean, maybe for bosses, of course, but for generally fighting random monsters, not so good on strength and agility. So strength, now you look at strength, for example, it's basically, it determines your damage with strength-based weapons like long swords and things like that. It doesn't do anything else. And so yeah, I really don't think that's really a worthwhile stat to be developing. Defense is really hard for a human to develop, and even for a mutant, you'd have to be using shields all the time. So that doesn't work so well either. I mean, yeah, it's kind of nice to boost your defense, but just get armor, don't even waste turns using a shield when you're in the back row position, or even if you put them at the front, you don't get defense gains that often. Now, agility is the only stat that I would otherwise consider working on. I'd use, for example, martial arts skills to work on that. And the advantage of agility is it improves your hit percentage with melee weapons. You take your turn before your enemies do. If your agility is faster, it increases your evade. It's just so much better than strength. But the problem is that really all that stuff really never gets taken into account the way I'm playing it, because I'm going to be using magic attacks, which agility doesn't affect hit percentage of. Evade, I've never really seen that be a huge advantage. And as far as going before your enemies do, the problem is that your agility would have to be much greater than your enemies for that to really happen consistently. And since I'm not doing any grinding, your agility will never get that much more advanced than your enemies. So I don't think it's really worthwhile developing it. Just keep your agility low and don't worry about it. At least if you're going to heal, you'll heal after your enemy's attacks, so you'll get the best advantage from it. You'll heal after they've dealt their damage to you. So I don't think agility is worth using or working on. Huh, okay. I'd be pretty willing to become the only god too if I could. Oh, by the way, with developing stats, you get credit for working on it if it's the last action you take. So, like for example, if your mutant, for example, uses a hammer in the first round and then uses Blizzard during the second round, then you'll get credit for mana, or possibly getting a mana gain, not a strength gain. And it has to be the last action you execute, not just selected. You have to actually get it off. So sometimes I might just have Lore use a shield and Key use a shield just so that Indy and Pyro can get a turn in to possibly get a stat gain. So that's how that works. Okay, and there's nothing interesting to buy here, so I'll be heading to Ashura's base next time on Let's Play Final Fantasy Legend 2! This is HC Bailey signing off. Have a good day!